This episode of Casual Compliance is brought to you by mortality. Even indestructible can't stop you from death. Hi, I'm Gramps.
Hi, I'm Chili Bin, and I'm having a crisis.
It's true, indestructible can't stop you from death. Welcome to Casual Compliance, where we talk about the Commander ban list and now the Game Changer list, I guess.
Yeah,
I guess.
mean, it's not. No, because game changers are still legal, so they're not part of the ban list.
Yes, but every card we talk about will eventually become a game changer. Proof in the pudding.
No.
Go 2 weeks ago. I got Gramps, I got 5 cards unbanned.
Yeah, you alone campaigned for this.
Yep, I have been emailing, and Attack on Cardboard can verify this. I've been emailing him once a day since he got on the CFP, asking for 5 cards to be unbanned specifically.
No, it's more than that. You've been emailing him since we started the show just over a year ago. Like every time one of those cards came up, you're like, unban this. I don't know how you'll have this capability, but I know in the future you will.
I have the sway of the stars.
Yeah.
Anyway, we talk about the Commander ban list, and we talk about cards on the ban list for a very casual format and why there even is a ban list prescribing play for a casual format. We take the card, first of all, we spin a wheel, the most popular wheel on the internet. And then we take a card from it. I will tell you the card. We kind of speculate why it might be banned. I have it in front of me, so I know why. Chili Bin doesn't. And then we go away, do a bit of research about why it should or should not remain banned, or why it should go onto the Game Changer list, which is where it goes now. And then we discuss from there, and I will give you why it's banned. And at the end of it, you can let us know what you think about the banning. Get it into us in the comments. Time code your comment if you're replying to something, because that's really helpful for us. I do read all of them, and I do watch that time code as well to see where in the interaction it is, because the moment we leave this room, I don't remember what we've recorded.
Yeah, this is truly the severance of Magic podcasts.
We got the chip in our brain, man. It's off. I might have 3 wives.
Yeah, I mean, we did an episode, and due to like the audio or something being fucked, we couldn't use that footage.
And we don't remember the episode.
I remember the card. I don't remember what I said about it because I don't remember what the card does.
Exactly. Go to casualcompliance@gmail.com and email us if you want to. Go to Blue Sky or TikTok, Casual Compliance. We've got more followers on TikTok than we have subscribers on YouTube.
Hey, sort it out.
Make sense of that.
Go and balance those
sort
numbers.
it out as my old Twitch that I used to sort cards on. Anyway, let's get to it, shall we?
I think so. Let's have some wheel action.
Start recording on OBS.
Don't do that. The vibration's going to go through the mic. I hate that.
That's a mic problem.
It is. What is it?
Oh, we were so close. You're going to see it on the wheel. We're so close to 2 rad cards, but instead we've got a card called Upheaval.
Upheaval. I'm having an upheaval in my brain, trying to think if I've ever heard of this card before. The answer's no.
So, good vamping, man.
Thank you.
Calling straight to it as well. There are 2 different resources now we're using for the ban list reason. We're going to use the Commander ban list official Commander website that is now defunct, and we're going to use Gavin Verhey's banned and restricted because he has a little blurb for some of them.
Yeah.
But let's get to Upheaval first.
And it was basically them like reinforcing, based on the context of brackets and game changes, why the cards on the ban list are still there.
Yeah.
So we've got like the original reason of why they were on the ban list plus the reason they continue to be there.
Yeah.
As judged by the Commander format panel.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And some personal insights from Gavin, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Let's get to Upheaval, though. Sick card art. Has a watermark that is the Mirari. I don't know what set that is. It's a pretty old one. 2001.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Urza's something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
So. 4 blue. So 6 cost card. Sorcery. It's a rare. Return all permanents to their owner's hands. So a 6 cost Cyclonic Rift-ish.
Well, because Cyclonic Rift is non-land.
Yeah, non-land permanent. So
and
this is all permanents.
And is I feel like I should know this. Cyclonic Rift, is that all players or all opponents?
The Overload is all opponents.
Yeah. Okay, so this
is all permanents to their owner's hands.
And what's an overloaded Cyc Rift cost you? Like 8?
7.
7?
Yeah, 6 blue.
Okay, so for 1 less, you're getting a more devastating effect.
Well, it's not more devastating.
Return all permanents to hands?
Yeah, it's fair. It's group hug.
Do not call... No. In no world could you... If you said, "Hey, I'm running this group hug deck," and you played an Upheaval, I would.
It's happening to all of us.
I would give the table an Upheaval. Get fucked with that. Are you kidding me?
Why do you think this is banned?
Because it sucks.
Like, and I guess with, for full context, this is after the unbannings of 5 cards. So this wasn't unbanned.
Yeah. Hey,
there's context to this now.
How much does Sway of the Start cost?
8.
Yeah. Was it 8 or was it 10? Which one was 10?
6 and 2. Oh, it might have been 8.
Yeah.
I've got it right here because they haven't updated it's 10. 8 and blue.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So for 10 mana, you can shuffle everybody's shit into their library, set everybody's life to 7, and have them draw 7 cards.
Yeah.
So you've got an empty board state.
Yeah.
And that costs 10.
Yeah.
And is now unbanned.
Yep.
This is, sure, all of those permanents are now back in your hand, so you're not running the risk of losing things because they're shuffling them into the library. But it is still setting an empty board. This sucks. I don't know if I'm going to come up with a better reason. It sucks.
I immediately already have a better one. So, do you,
okay. Let's.
Do you even want a Skyfall?
No, I'm gonna go look for some stuff because we've talked about Cyclonic Rift. I want to go and look for like other similar kinds of board reset type effects that aren't just like destroy all. Like this can't be the only 2 cards that bounce the entire board or something close to it.
Yeah.
Because 6 mana to do that is absolutely bargain basement nonsense.
Bargain bin
That's
Cyclonic.
Crazy. and then you're just like back to the situation at the start of the game, like, oh, 1 land pass, and looking at your hand going like, oh, I now have to discard the hand size because I don't have an infinite hand size effect on board anymore.
Hear me out, right?
Yeah.
1 land pass. Braid's Cabal minion's been unbanned.
Yeah. Okay. Now let's think about, we have this concept now that we've talked about a couple episodes of like your early, your mid, your late game. 6 mana, you call that mid game?
Mid game.
Yeah.
Yep.
People have probably got
turn
like,
6.
let's say on curve, everybody's got 6 lands down, probably a couple creatures here or there, an artifact or 2. So you're looking at minimum 6 cards being put back in your hand on top of whatever you're holding. Everybody's discarding to hand size.
Yep.
At that point, like unless one of those lands was a reliquary tower that you're able to put straight back down and save yourself from the effect.
Yep.
That sucks.
Well, let's get into some research then.
Please.
This card rocks, man. Oh, what a rad card. Welcome back to this episode of Casual Compliance. Just as a reminder, it's brought to you by the concept of annihilation.
I thought it was mortality.
Even indestructible can't stop you from oblivion. Speaking of oblivion, Upheaval.
Yeah. Good segue.
Love it when the intro goes to the fucking card. You saw me do the wheel.
That was good. Actually, I hadn't put that together.
4 blue, so a 6 cost sorcery, just a sorcery. Return all permanents to their owner's hands. Mm-hmm. The calm comes after the storm.
Yeah.
Interestingly, with this card, no storm count because there's nothing else you can do.
No, but I think that's just demonstrating this card is embodying the concept of post-nut clarity.
If you look at the card, bring up the art. Bring up the art, fucking full thing. That is a dude looking at a world that has just been shattered.
Yeah, you ever just had a devastating nut?
No. First printed in 2001. You figured out what the set was, but you've ruined it. Me thinking about your devastating nut now.
It's Odyssey.
It was banned as it came out. It looks like because it just says banned dash. So
Okay.
Fucking games of Commander are expected to go long. It's not uncommon to see players cast spells for 10 plus mana. Mm-hmm. Upheaval is both an emergency reset, which leaves the game right back at square one, and a way to get way ahead in the game by floating mana, which I will talk about.
I had never thought
Bouncing
of that.
everything, then replaying your hand whilst leaving everyone else stuck at nothing.
Yeah.
Gives no real way to interact with it besides counter magic.
Yeah, I hadn't even thought of the idea of floating all your mana and then doing this.
Now let's get on to Gavin Verhey.
Okay, yes.
This board sweeper resets the entire game back to square one for only 6 mana, which would be a problem enough, ellipsis. And when you factor in all the mana that you floated and are about to recast your mana rocks, its chances only get worse.
Yeah.
And then the final nail in the coffin, which I fully disagree with, and here is my thesis onto why.
Okay.
Unlikely to be unbanned.
Unlikely.
It's what it says here.
Yeah.
Unlikely is the key word here.
Yeah.
But there's a problem with this.
Okay.
Blue, counter spell, counter target spell. Easy. That's low hanging fruit.
Yeah.
Low hanging fruit. Teferi's Protection, 2 and a white.
True.
Phase out all of your permanents.
Yeah.
You phase out, your life total can't change.
Good.
Easy peasy.
Okay, so like 2 cards.
Out of time.
like counter magic generally.
Out of time. One
That's
white.
That's an enchantment.
Yeah, but you can chuck. It's got flash.
No, it doesn't.
Sure.
No, it doesn't.
Or does it not?
As someone who's played out of time before, it
I've
has
never
the
played it
keyword
'cause
vanishing.
It bores me. But yeah, well, here you go. Leyline of Anticipation out of time.
Yeah,
It's
great.
a
Okay.
7-cost combo.
Yeah,
that can
no.
also be a 3-cost combo
No.
if you have Leyline of Anticipation out early, but Leyline of Anticipation out of time.
No.
There is easy protection from this. I'm stating it out the gate.
Yeah, there is.
And then I'm
For
gonna-
you.
Yeah.
For one person.
Yep, good.
So half of the pod.
I don't care about anybody else
Great.
in the pod but me and the person playing Upheaval because that's the target. I'm going straight into it. And because I forgot, we haven't done like a mainline episode in a while. It's been like a month and a half.
Ish, yeah.
Yeah. So I forgot what order we do this. I think I
I think it depends on how you think it's going to go. Sometimes you throw to me first, and sometimes you just go.
yeah. But I'm just going with this one because I
Okay.
think I've got it locked down.
All
and
right.
it'll be interesting to see what comes up in your arguments.
Yeah.
Apocalypse. So Upheaval is 6 cost.
Yep.
4 blue. Apocalypse is a sorcery printed at common, but that's because I'm pretty sure they didn't have uncommons and rares when Tempest was coming out because it's listed in Skyfall as
it's
a
like
rare.
old enough, yeah.
Yep. 2 red. So 5 cost. Cheaper.
1 cheaper, sure.
Worse. Remove all permanents from the game.
Okay.
Discard your hand.
Okay.
For 5.
For 5.
So it doesn't give you stuff back to your hand,
Yeah.
and you have to discard your hand
Yeah.
at sorcery speed.
Yeah.
But worse of a game reset if you don't think about all of
I mean,
the it's fairer because you don't have to floated mana.
That's what I was going to say. It's like, it is a much fairer board wipe in a sense because like you don't get to float your mana. Well, you could float your mana, but like then you're left with an empty hand.
Well, if you go away from the card advantage thing, it's a harsh game reset.
Yeah.
It does penalize the person playing.
That's
it.
what I was going to say. It's like that to me, I don't mind because you are taking a huge hit.
Yeah, okay.
No one else is discarding their hand.
Hear me out.
Yeah. What else you got?
You know how we're the Isochron Scepter show?
From time to time.
It's about to become the Leyline of Anticipation show.
It's just like, give anything Flash, it's a problem. Sure.
Yeah, that's why Flash is banned. We'll get to that.
Yeah, I think like that's always going to be true. Just like we can always say there's removal, there's counter magic.
There is.
Yeah, but like that on its own is not a reason to ban or unban something. If you could give anything Flash, anything's a problem.
Yeah.
You can't ban everything.
Well, speaking of which, let's do 2 other cards then, shall we?
Mm-hmm.
My favorite one of this one that I saw, which will lead up to the one you know I'm about to talk about.
Okay.
Let's talk about Final Act.
Final Act.
Final Act is a 6-cost card it's a new card, brand new from Modern Horizons 3. Hasn't been printed anywhere
Like
else.
first printing,
in
sure.
the Commander.
Right.
Don't remember which Commander deck though. Choose one or more. Destroy all creatures.
Mm-hmm.
Destroy all planeswalkers. Destroy all battles. Exile all
It
graveyards.
says destroy all battles.
Destroy all battles.
Okay.
And battles weren't even done in fucking MH3.
No, but they existed.
They existed, but they didn't print any.
No.
Print more battles.
Please, just do anything with battles.
Please.
Like when battles first came out, they were like, we're introducing the first battle subtype, siege, which implies the existence of more in the future.
And then they printed 5 fucking Sieges and Dragonstorm.
Sorry, those are enchantments with the word siege in their name.
I hate you so much. Each opponent loses all counters. That's the final line of Final Act.
Weird choice.
So,
It's like a counter energy play.
Well, you could do this to politic in like
In a poison deck?
in my Atraxa deck. I should put this in Atraxa just so I can politic.
What's the cost of it?
6, 4 black,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
and just choose one or more.
Yeah.
This is legal. It's not unilateral. It's not all permanent.
You can't wipe lands
and
with
you
it.
keep your lands down.
Yeah.
Unless your lands are creatures.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, if you've built your deck that way, sure, that's going to hurt more.
But here's the fun one.
Okay.
Here's the one that is the reason why any unilateral board wipe, doesn't matter what it says or what it targets on it, should be cleared up. Mm-hmm. Farewell is still legal.
Yeah, okay. But that
Farewell remains in the game.
Farewell doesn't touch lands.
Microsynth Lattice.
Yeah, okay.
Farewell should not be allowed to be in the format because it even gets around the indestructible artifacts.
Yeah, because it's exile.
This is an anti-farewell show. We tricked you. Choose one or more. It's 6 cost. 4 white.
Yeah.
Sorcery. Rare in MKC. Most recently printed Modern Horizons 3 Commander because that's fun, isn't it? Choose one or more. Exile all artifacts. Exile all creatures. Exile all enchantments. Exile all graveyards.
Yeah. That's fine.
That's legal. Upheaval's not.
Yeah.
That shit goes into your hand. Yes, you have to go to your discard phase eventually and you can only play one land. That's fine. Whatever. But Upheaval is allowed.
No, Farewell's allowed.
Oh, sorry. Farewell's allowed.
Yes.
Upheaval, not allowed. Upheaval can't even be a game changer. Farewell was only just listed as a game changer.
Was it actually?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I couldn't remember because I couldn't remember if that was like escalated to game changer or if they just mentioned it as like we're looking at it.
Oh, sorry, I lied to you. Farewell's not even a fucking game changer at all.
Yeah.
Are you actually serious?
I thought so. But okay, that's a separate conversation.
Yeah,
Comparing Farewell to Upheaval, the difference is like it's not affecting anyone's hands.
Not affecting the lands.
You have your lands, so you're still able to like do something.
It's worse. It's worse.
Yeah, I don't like Farewell, to be clear.
Anyway, that's my point. At the moment, Upheaval came like Farewell.
So what is like the overall theme of your argument for
The overall thing, my argument is there are
unbanning
cards that do not. I mean, if Cyclonic Rift is there, we already spoke about Cyclonic Rift,
Yeah.
so we don't need to talk about Cyclonic Rift.
So it costs
again.
7, but it's all opponents and it's only non-lands.
Cyclonic Rift is also a game changer. It's
is.
on the game changer list, so
Yeah.
that argument's there. But my point in this one is there are ways to get around Upheaval. There are ways to protect yourself from Upheaval. Yes,
That's true of everything.
It's true of everything, and it's always a standby. Play more removal, play more counter magic. Magic is an interactive game. Play more Dan. But Apocalypse, Final Act of Farewell are massive board wipes. Apocalypse did kind of ruin my argument a little bit.
Because it actually hurts more to
It
play
actually
it.
hurts
Yeah.
more to play it. It is cheaper. Final Act is more just me prefacing Farewell is a bad card.
Yeah.
But Farewell's existence means that any kind of unilateral board wipe is more fair.
Okay.
Is that Upheaval has ways to be interacted with, and yes, I actually think the argument that it is a way to advance yourself in the game hurts the argument of why it should be banned. Farewell resets the board state to a point where no one can respond, or resets the game to where you better be playing to win.
Yeah.
Upheaval, if you're playing Upheaval and then floating a bunch of mana, sick. You better win.
Yeah, but I think the argument kind of outlines what I think would most likely happen, which is you're floating the mana just to put everything back down. It's not that you have a winner in hand. It's that you just want to blow everybody else's shit up and still have all your stuff.
That's the same argument as like something like a massive board wipe. Like massive board wipes, you have to be board wiping with a strategy.
The difference with most board wipes, though, because they're like creature based or something like that, is like everybody's still got their lands. Yeah. When it gets to their turn, they're able to like maybe play a big spell that brings things back from the graveyard or whatever they're going to do. Yeah. Like they're at least maybe able to replay their commander, for example, and get their kind of strategy rolling again.
Yeah. No, What did you find?
What did I find?
What did you find?
One thing I noticed about Upheaval is that it was also printed in a set called From the Vault Annihilation, which is like indicative of what type of card this is.
For those of you who joined me on my stream when I was sorting lands, and thank you for doing so, we might do some more streams. From the Vault came up when I was looking at the set symbols a few times. Right. So cool.
Yeah.
From the Vaults was so cool.
But it is a 15 card set from 2014, and just to give you a taste of the sort of cards that From the Vault Annihilation includes, we've got Armageddon, destroy all lands.
Amazing.
We've got things like Smokestack. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may put a soot counter on Smokestack. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player sacrifices a permanent for each soot counter on Smokestack. I believe, like it's talked about as the origin of the name Stacks.
It is.
Yeah.
Yep, that's why we call it Stacks.
You've got Terminus, which is 4 white with a miracle cost of 1 white. Put all creatures on the bottom of their owner's libraries.
If you top deck a Terminus in a Miracle deck, you are playing that Terminus no matter what. The board's you could be super far ahead, play it. It's the most fun.
Yeah.
It's so dumb.
Yeah. We've also got Wrath of God, classic board white, the origin of the term Wrath
Some of
effect.
the most amazing art in Magic.
2 white, destroy all creatures, they can't be regenerated. Like, that's the kind of tone that Upheaval operates with.
Yep.
But what I mainly went looking for is cards that return all something to owner's hands.
Okay.
Just to get an idea of like what sort of how those effects are typically structured, what their costs are, to see if there's a point of reference here for like, is Upheaval just too cheap for a big effect like that? So Aetherize, 3 and a blue, return all attacking creatures to their owner's hands.
Very good card. Very good.
Instant speed, obviously, because it's like a combat trick, but that's a 4 cost and it focuses on attacking creatures. So that's affecting 1 player.
Makes me think of like something like Settle the Wreckage as well, which is destroy all attacking creatures, 4 cost, 2 white.
Yeah. Another miracle card, Devastation Tide.
Such a good card.
So we've got 3 blue for the regular sorcery cost, and then 1 and blue for the miracle cost. Return all non-land permanents to their owner's hands.
Yep.
So, like,
Keeps the lands down, but
not Cyclonic Rift. Like, it's affecting all players.
Yeah.
But again, that's like base cost 5, and then miracle cost 2. Sure, that's like you've top decked it, first card for the turn, but that's a 5 cost, and it returns everyone's shit. You still keep your lands.
Because casting into Miracles, you're casting in your upkeep as well. So you haven't even...
You don't... Yeah.
Oh, sorry, because you've drawn it. So it's the first draw. So
when you
casting
draw
in
it, if it's the first card you draw this turn, so it doesn't have to be your turn.
Yeah.
But it's still...
Amazing card.
2 mana, get everything except lands back into people's hands.
I should put my Minotaur deck list in the... It's just all Miracles.
Yeah, it
my
is.
Minotaur deck list in the thing.
Yeah. A similar kind of thing here, where we've got like a non-land bounce with a cost reduction built in. Coastal Breach.
Oh.
Have you seen this?
No.
It was only ever printed in Commander 2016.
Oh, that's why I haven't seen it.
It's a cost of 6 generic and 1 blue. And it says return all non-land permanents to their owner's hands. It's a sorcery. But it has an effect called Undaunted, which says it costs 1 less for each opponent. So you could cost it for 3 and a blue, assuming no one's left the game yet.
Yeah.
So a 4 cost, bounce everything, like minimum 4 cost.
Don't forget C16 is the 4 color commanders.
Yeah.
So like the Mellitus, the Atraxa, like Breya, Aegis.
Yeah.
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 So good.
We've got Evacuation. It's in 5 cost instant, 3 blue. Return all creatures to their owner's hands. 5 cost instant for creature bounce.
And what the theme we're noticing here is it leaves your lands the fuck alone.
Yep. Filter out an instant, 1 blue. Return all non-creature, non-land permanents to their owner's hands.
Okay.
So artifacts, enchantments,
Everything but the
planeswalkers,
creatures
battles.
and land.
I'm going to keep mentioning
Battles. We're mentioning battles.
We're making battles relevant in 2025. I swear to fuck.
Edge of Eternities had better have battles in it, or I will cry. On camera.
It's so funny. We had rooms created before we got a second battle subtype.
They're just enchantments.
Well, they're double enchantments. You've got 2 sides to them. Anyway, River's Rebuke.
Yep.
4 blue for a sorcery. Return all non-land permanents target player controls to their owner's hands, which feels like kind of expensive when it's non-land permanents for 1 player.
Yeah.
When we've got some of these things
Yeah,
are like
asymmetrical removal.
Yeah, and like some of these are like 5 cost instants to bounce everyone's shit. This is like maybe that's costed up because you're targeting someone, but still. Sunder, 3 blue for an instant. Return all lands to owner's hands.
Oh yeah.
5 cost bounce all lands.
Yeah. I like that.
That's wild.
I'm gonna start playing that more.
But then like whoever's got mana rocks down is probably okay with this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or maybe run that in an artifact, like
Artifact only deck, yeah.
mana artifact heavy deck. I've got Wash Out, 3 and a blue for a sorcery. Return all permanents of the color of your choice to their owner's hands. So, like, again, seems like a higher cost given how specific it is compared to some of these other effects. And then the one that, like, I think almost undermines what I'm going for here.
Hit me. I'm looking forward to this. This is why this card gets put on the game changer list. This here, right here.
This is currently, you could get one of these. It's telling me for less than $1. Only ever printed in Shadowmoor. World Purge.
Oh, I'm looking this up because I want to see the art on this card.
Yeah, it's sick as hell. 4 generic and then 4 hybrid Azorius. So a total of 8. Return all permanents to their owner's hands. Each player chooses up to 7 cards in their hand, then shuffles the rest into their library. Empty all mana pools.
That's the one, baby.
That, I would argue, is the fix for Upheaval.
Not only is it the fix for Upheaval, this came out after. If you look at this card and you look at the time frames, okay, so Upheaval was printed in 2001.
Yep.
It was reprinted in Modern Horizons. It has its place in other formats, yes.
Yeah.
World Purge being printed in 2008, 6 years after, was like, how do we do Upheaval effect?
And then never reprinted, which is interesting.
Yeah, they haven't reprinted any fucking Shadowmoor because they're boring.
Lorwyn's coming back. Maybe Shadowmoor?
Well, they delayed. Anyway, watch Spice 8 Rack's video on Shadowmoor. Very good.
It's Lorwyn, right? And then, like,
Shadowmoor's
Shadowmoor's
even tighter.
Yeah.
They're all the same.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about. You don't know what I'm talking about.
I think, like, because Upheaval costs 6. So this is 2 more in terms of cost.
Yeah, which does seem a bit more fair going with what you've listed here.
Yeah.
Because it is, it's symmetrical, but it is targeting more things. You were talking about like 4 and 5 costs targeting creatures, going into the 6 costs for targeting more than just creatures.
Or like hitting everybody
kind of stuff. So with 8 costs, you're targeting everything entirely, filling up the hands and emptying. Well, it's filling up their hands, then resetting their hands.
Yeah, then they have to basically discard down to 7.
Yep.
And then,
well, they don't have to discard. They choose up to 7 cards and then put the rest into the library. Shuffle.
Not discard.
So it's basically...
It's Sway of the Stars.
It's Shahrazad.
No, it's Sway of the Stars, but it costs 2 less because you're not touching life totals.
Yes. Yeah, wow. Yeah.
Basically.
Well, no, but the graveyards remain.
Yeah. But, like... It's in that realm of, like...
It's diminishing returns.
What is diminishing returns?
You've played enough Dan to know what...
I don't remember it off the top of my head. Come on, internet.
Each player shuffles his or her hand and graveyard into his or her library. You exile the top 10 cards of your library, then each player draws up to 7 cards.
Yeah, full cost.
I just want diminishing... Play more Dan, guys.
Yeah. I've got a couple more, but I've got a couple more cards to talk about, but they're not... like bounce to hand effects, but that is kind of, I look at like the cost of those cards I talked about as sort of like, ignoring the miracle cost. Like you're talking like 4 to 6 roughly of bounce or non-land permanents.
Yeah.
But it's
4 for targeted, 6 gets more towards everything.
And then World Purge is just like, it's essentially, if I had to come up with a fix, that would be it.
Yeah.
I have not ever seen a card that says empty all mana pools before, though.
Rad.
That's crazy.
Amazing card. Amazing card.
The other couple I have here are like more just in the line of like board wipes that reach beyond creatures. So All is Dust.
All is Dust is an amazing card.
7 generic Kindred Sorcery Eldrazi. Each player sacrifices all permanents they control that are 1 or more colors.
Yeah.
So you could run this in any deck because it's just generic mana.
Yep.
Often you'd see this in a colorless deck so that everybody else gets fucked because chances are you're not in a pod full of colorless decks. That'd be wild. There's not that many to choose from. And then the other one is Dimensional Breach.
No, not very.
Only ever printed in a set called Scourge, which I've never seen before.
Rad. It's like the dog face, isn't it?
Like it's like a dog or a dragon. I can't tell.
Rad. Scourge is rad.
5 white for a sorcery, and it reads: remove all permanents from the game, so exile all permanents, for as long as any of those cards remain exiled. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player returns 1 of the exiled cards they own to the battlefield.
Yeah.
So assuming, this isn't even because it's a sorcery. That effect is applied to the exiled cards, so that will just keep happening. So it's basically just like every turn you get 1 of them back.
Yeah.
Which is kind of neat.
It's handy.
Yeah. It's like it feels like.
It's expensive.
Yeah, it's expensive, but like in terms of board wipes, generally sitting around sort of 5-6 mana, like you could play this and maybe it takes some of the edge off because it's like you will get those back, but it is all permanent, so it touches lands.
And I guess think about when Scourge came out. Scourge was 2003.
Right.
Like it was a small one, so it was like one of those 100 card sets or whatever it is Onslaught. So it's going to be more expensive because Magic was costed differently. Power Creep hasn't settled in yet. 143 cards printed in Scourge.
Yeah, crazy.
I feel like Scourge probably is the more fun way of doing this.
The Dimensional Breach?
Yeah. The Dimensional Breach is the fun way of doing it because there's ways to get that stuff back.
But then like if you're doing that like in the later stages of the game, like I don't know how many lands you have to put down at that point.
Imagine all the landfall.
Well, yeah, sure. But you're getting one in your upkeep.
But also it all comes down at the same time. So ETB triggers will happen.
Mm-hmm. You're only getting one per turn. You choose one card in your upkeep to return to play.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, it's going to drag it out.
How early could you play Dimensional?
Well, it's 5 generic, so you find anything that does generic cost reductions.
Generic cost reductions because of sorcery, Goblin Electromancer.
All that sort of stuff.
That Otter that does a Goblin Electromancer, but it's strictly better because that's prowess.
Is it a Ketra's Monument that reduces white spells?
Yep.
Sure. You could do that pretty early, but it's like, why would you?
Fun. Mainly just fun.
Yeah. And again, like, costs less than $1.
So where do we end up with Upheaval then?
I think because World Purge exists, it basically is what you need to do to make Upheaval a fun experience.
Yeah.
Or like make it more fair, because I think, the idea that you could play Upheaval in response, tap all your shit, float the mana, and then drop back down things that will let you tap for mana, and then put a land back down, I guess. I think that's kind of the thing that hurts it the most is that you can still just float all the mana and just do a bunch of shit anyway.
Yeah.
And everyone else is just sitting there going, well, fuck, unless I've got instant speed interaction for the spell, I'm so boned.
Yeah. Well, and look, I think I still think it could be a game changer because, and emotions aside, it getting rid of all the lands. If someone is playing something like this and they have that advantage of that the lands down, they're tapping all the lands first, then
they better fucking win.
This is a game-winning bomb.
Yeah.
That is 6 cost. I would like to see it as a combo piece or as a piece where like this is guaranteeing you the win. Similar to our farewells and our damnations.
Any board wipe, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You mentioning Armageddon actually kind of really helped me out because I realized that Armageddon is still, unbanned and existing and technically not on the game changer list. It's on a different list. If you're playing this and you're not winning the game, what are you doing? Is the thing.
Yeah.
And I understand why it's banned because people won't do it that way. People won't see it that way.
Yeah.
It is very much I'm falling behind. I want to stay in the game, so I'm going to play it to reset everyone.
Yeah.
Not I'm going to hold on to this in my hand that I have at turn 3 so I can play at turn 10 and combo off and win.
Yeah. I think it's more that play pattern of like, I'm resetting everybody but leaving myself ahead by doing this trick where I float all the mana. And then everyone else is like crawling to catch up.
Yeah.
Like you'll be sitting there with a grip of cards. You'll put one land down, maybe do something with it, and then discard a ton.
Yeah.
Like that's how I would see it playing out. Yeah. And you might as well just start a new game.
Exactly. And looking at that kind of stuff really is if you are playing, no one ever expects you to be counting how many turns you've played for. About being cognizant of how long the game's for, where it's sitting in its board state, and whether playing that board wipe in your hand is actually doing anything. Board wipe with intention. Don't board wipe unilaterally. Don't.
Yeah.
Don't drone strike the board because you're behind.
All right, Obama.
and have a little conscience.
Yeah.
It's board strike with intent. like
Board wipe.
board wipe. Yeah. Drone wipe with intent. Board wipe with intent. Like early game, yeah, board wipe because it's turn 5, turn 6. Someone's got major advantage. Everyone's behind. That makes sense.
If one person's getting way ahead early and that's your only option to kind of rein them in a bit.
Political board wipes are fine.
Yeah. Yeah. But just board wiping to then have the game reduced to a crawl for the next like half an hour.
That's boring.
It's just not a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's not one of those like, you know, the board wipes can often be these big moments and then they lead to good stories after the fact. But this is just like, oh yeah, this board wipe happened and then we all just kind of sat around.
Yeah, I discarded my hand, had 50 cards in my graveyard and had to wait 8 more turns before I could play my Palace Siege.
Yeah. Or like I'd already cast my command. Oh no, because it'd go to hand. But yeah, you'd be like, I'd already cast my commander and it costs 5 because most commanders are a little like 4 or 5 kind of range at this point. And you're just like, yeah, cool, I got 1 card down. And then I was just like, fine, I guess I'll just keep going. And just so boring.
Yeah. Palace Siege isn't a card. Patriarch's bidding.
Is that what you're thinking of?
Every time I say Palace Siege, it's Patriarch's bidding.
That's not even close.
Why do I think it's Palace Siege? I think it's because... Oh, no, there's no reason at all. I'm just dumb. Ignore me. Anyway, my name's Gramps.
My name's Chili Bin.
Upheaval stays on the ban list. It isn't fun. And it can be used in too many unfun ways. Really. Just remember, go to TikTok, go to YouTube, go to Blue Sky, Casual Compliance. Mm-hmm. Email us at Gmail, casualcompliance@gmail.com. And don't forget to pitch, always, to band Farewell. Farewell.
Fuck farewell.
Oh, boy.